can't remember.
How old were you when you met him?
I met him when I was, I came to England in 1950. Yes, I met him in 1950, so I was just in my 20s. I came back from Indonesia, and he was here. He was left the army when he and started working here, and he was the first person I met in the international club. And he said, "Who are you?" I said, "None of your business." That was the first thing we said to each other, and I thought, "Who the hell are you?" No, he was fine. He's fine. And Frank and Jannik were both the Poles, and Edith used to say, "Oh, here they come again." Frank was after Edith for the moment that he saw her, I think.
Really?
And she said, "God, I can't stand him."
Oh.
She did marry him.
Yeah.
But I can't remember how. I'm looking for that photograph. But, yeah.
What day did you get married? Do you remember the date?
First, I married on the 1st of November.
1st of November.
Yeah.
Amazing. So was that your house?
Yeah, it's just Indonesia. And we had all the luxuries in those days.
Really?
Oh yeah, because you were the boss. You didn't have a mud hut. No. We had the telephone. We had Louisa. We had.
So you were considered relatively well off over there?
Of course we were, because you were the boss. You were the Europeans.
Yeah, I suppose.
You lived in. You see those big. You see these places in India. You see where people used to live. We lived in houses like that. My bedroom was the size of this.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And it was all small. We had no top floors. You had only.
So it was all one floor.
Because there's some other photograph somewhere I have. And no. And we had proper loos. We had.
Flushing toilets.
Oh yeah. But you see, the other people, the Indonesians didn't have that. They had the little hole in the ground, and you had to do that sort of.
Did you have like any help around the house or anything?
Oh God, yes, you had servants.
Really?
You had your servants, darling. We didn't do anything.
Oh my goodness!
What would you think? And when you come to Holland and you are a child, you took it all for granted. And I remember Willie, when we came to school, she said that her dad was the king of Billiton. I said, "Touchdown nonsense." Oh yes.
What age would you have started school? At like 5, 6? Yeah.
Yes.
And then you left when you were 10?
Yeah.
And you went to school in Holland?
In Holland, yeah. And we were way ahead of the children in Holland.
Really?
Yes, we were. We were certainly.
So the education was better in Indonesia?
Because you see, we had one big room and 3 rows of school banks, and I started with 2 other girls, Annie Warming and Olga Bakkerbessie. She was from Ambon, and the other one was Dutch. There were 3 of us. Number 1 first, then you had class number 2, then you had class number 3. And then you got up, you had in the other room, you had 4 and 5 and 6.
Right.
But I remember going from the first time to school.
So what language would you have been speaking?
Dutch,
you were speaking Dutch?
Oh yes.
Okay.
Yes. Indonesian you learn through the your staff, the people
Servants.
who worked for you.
Really?
So you're sort of bilingual automatically. Children pick up a language very quickly. They do. Without
so you spoke a little
told.
anyway?
So you spoke both languages. Because
cool.
they didn't speak any Dutch. So you had to speak to them in Malay.
Right.
And that was fine.
How old were you when you went back to Indonesia?
Oh, years and years later. With Sammy I went, because I didn't go. I went back to 1947 when I went back to Indonesia. But I didn't go back to Billiton. My sister and my mother went back to Billiton, but I stayed in Jakarta. I didn't want to go to. I didn't want to go. I was engaged to be married there, not to Jannik.
Oh.
Oh no, I was engaged to somebody completely different. That didn't work out.
Obviously.
Thank God for that. And in one way, another way probably, I don't know. He became head of the Garuda Indonesia, the Dutch airline.
Oh.
I remember that.
Head of the airline?
Oh yeah. Yes, but
very nice.
But when I came to Indonesia, when I got engaged when I was in Holland, when I was about 20, and I went back to Indonesia and with the intention of marrying him, and it didn't work because I discovered that he had been messing around with other girls. And that was it. That's the story. For me, that was close the door and forget it.
And
so
then you
I
came.
was 2 days in Indonesia and I broke it off. I said, forget it. I'm not going to marry somebody like that.
Fair enough.
And he came, so about 6 months later, he came back again too. And we went out and had a meal, and he said, would I please marry you? I said, no, I wouldn't want to marry you again. Don't. I had no intention of marrying him. Absolutely not. So we drove up in the Jeep, we had a Jeep, and we drove like mad, and I said, hey, go a bit slower. He said, why? I said, if you want to kill yourself, let me get out, because I don't want to get killed. So
Okay.
we went home,
Yeah.
and that was it.
And
I
then,
never
so
found
after
him
that,
again.
then you came back to here.
And then I came back to Holland in 1949. I spent 2 years in Indonesia. I hated it.
So what did you do in those 2
I
years?
worked.
Where did you work?
I worked for the Billiton company where my father used to work for, because my uncle was one of the top men. And then I worked for Radio Jakarta, and I worked for something else. I did different jobs,
Yeah.
because I just shifted from one, because I had no idea what you wanted to be in those days. I had no qualifications whatsoever.
No.
Just picked it up.
When you were at school, was there something in particular that you thought you wanted to do?
No,
or
in those days you didn't.
No.
At my age, and when your parents will say the same thing. You didn't have girls in particular haven't.
Yeah. I
You didn't.
suppose.
I wanted to go on the stage,
Yeah.
but that was not on. My auntie said, "No way was I going to be on the stage." She said, "Nice girls don't go on the stage."
Really?
Well, that was one of those things, and I desperately wanted to go on the stage.
Oh.
I did amateur dramatics when I came back to Holland for years. I loved it because basically I'm shy, but on the stage a different thing. You
Really?
become a different person.
Yeah.
It's nice to be bad on the stage, but you're not bad within yourself.
Yeah.
You know the meaning?
Acting, yeah.
I loved it, being bad.
Oh. What kind of characters? Like, were you in sort of like any plays that we would know? Or
Well, there was one was with the French Revolution. I remember that, and it was very funny because the sort of thing you see when you're standing on the stage there and people were going to be guillotined, and you're standing there, and you're supposed to be the crowd. And my neighbor said to me, "Shall I tell you a dirty joke?" And you'd have to stay there and looking very somber.
Yeah.
And you don't know how to look. when
So you
somebody-
would be in things that weren't comedies or anything. You would be like
well,
serious.
all sort of things, comedy, and also in the musicals. I played in just
Gilbert and Sullivan.
that's right, translated in Dutch, and I played in that.
Ah.
Yes, I was one of these young Japanese officers, or no, one of these officers
Really?
in the geisha or something like that. I remember.
geisha.
I got photographs. I have to dig them up.
Yeah.
Yes, I have, because I was quite small. But yeah, oh yes, that was fun.
Did you continue any of that when you came over here?
No,
No?
I never did. I did it before I was married. And my great friend Peter was the literature, and we were great mates. And Peter's gone a long time ago. And that's just one of the things. I did have the idea that I wanted to go on the stage. I never made it. So, you see, and in those days you didn't rebel. I was not a rebellious kind of person. So
Really?
No, not really. You became later on
Sure.
that you ask questions, because I'm always question things, because I never take anything for granted. When somebody said you're not supposed to do it, I said why, and I'll look it up.
So were you raised religious at all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yes. Well. Yes, but I still question
Yeah.
that as well. I still do.
Yeah.
As my aunt used to be horrified, because when I questioned him, but you don't do that, you're not supposed to. And I was invited to a wedding, a Jewish wedding. No, she said, Auntie, you can't do that. You have to ask Father if you're allowed to. I said, who's hell? He is. Tell me what to do. And I went to the Jewish wedding. It was wonderful.
Yeah.
Absolutely wonderful.